Hello everyone. I know that I had said that I was going to do some videos in 2021, so I'm going to jump right into this. And that is, I am overcoming a whole lot of trauma and it feels so amazing. But I also know when I'm tapping into the unconditional love from God, and every bit of my healing journey is because of that love, that unconditional love, and the messengers of God. So I just appreciate all of you who are extremely supportive of my growth and creating space for me as I heal through such deep core wounds. So I want to jump into the very first trauma, and that is, and as I do this research on secure versus insecure attachment trauma, blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. So let me explain how simply this is. Okay, so securely attached babies look like this. They're going to have a very secure bond with their mom, okay? And a secure bond baby, all that basically means is that they have confidence in when they have needs that their mom is going to be there to take care of them and to love them, okay? So then they show up in the world as extremely confident individuals moving forward. Now, if you're an insecure attached child, where again 50% of the world's population show up as an insecure attached child, that insecure attachment is forever going to affect you. And I'm sorry to say, it is going to be very painful because that insecure attached child to the birth mom, and again, this is not a video to blame and point fingers to say, oh my gosh, that mom was horrible. It's not about that. It's about just giving you some insight and some wisdom into looking at your life. And if you were an insecure attached child, then it's going to create some unstable and or unhealthy relationships in life because of this original wound with your birth mom, which was not your fault. So that's probably the first thing I also want to say right now, is that you may actually end up showing up in the world as that you were defective, there was something wrong with you. I certainly felt that way a lot, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to look back. I did not want to look back because I knew there were some deep wounds, and I did not want to deal with them because they were so painful, and I had suffered so much as a young child, but I figured I could run from it. You don't want to run towards pain in life. You want to run away from pain. So when you're an insecure attached child, you're going to create fears in you. And so I want to send you more love, and just to let you know that there's going to be fears that you're going to have to face. As an adult, I guess some people don't face them, and they could go to the grave and take all those fears with them, all the traumas, and lived a very probably unfulfilled, lack of thriving life. And how sad is that? And I do know there are lots, I'm sure millions and millions of people who go through life without happiness and joy and bliss. I choose not to be that person. I've had way too much trauma to not allow myself as an adult to have the wonderful things that I didn't even know that I didn't have. So I just I'm getting emotional, but it's because, this driver, this need to prove, this workaholic, that all comes from part of the trauma from your birth mom. It creates this fear, this fear of commitment, and when people get too close, you push them away. That would be one side of the spectrum. That is what an avoidant insecure attached baby would turn out to be like. Okay, so there was two lists, and that is very personal to me, so please create the space for me and have compassion that's the way that I show up. Now there's different combinations. The avoidant is going to be that person who is the constant driver and just has shame and just tries to work harder to outpace that shame. Okay, and then there's the opposite extreme of that insecure attachment and that person shows up as anxious, and I have both in parts of me, and that insecure attachment with my birth mom, and that anxiety, that level of anxiety, boy, do I know that anxiety. It created a lot of IBS, it created a lot of health issues, even as a child also. But the anxious, attachment basically means that you're going to be a little bit clingy, you're going to be needy, because you're constantly looking for that closeness. You want that closeness, and you didn't have it with your birth mom, so you're going to constantly show up that way. Not to mention, I had a deeper wound, and that was, some of you are going to know your birth moms, and mine I did not know at all. I don't remember her. I don't remember my parents, and they both died when I was very young. So it created, even that deeper wound of that deep, deep fear of abandonment. But this is real. It's what feels, in our minds, psyches, as real. And because of that particular influence in our lives, then we're going to show up a certain way with the connections, or really the lack of connections in our lives. Because on both sides, the anxious as well as the avoidant, you have a mistrust, and you can't trust, because how can you trust anybody or the world or anyone in the world if you couldn't trust that your own birth mother could have taken care of you and your needs? So therefore, you're going to have a mistrust into the world and of others. So now I'm getting an understanding why I created some of the situations that I created, all through awareness. So until the unconscious is conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. It is really one of my favorite quotes. And I want to send you love to individuals who are facing this insecure attachment trauma. If you are one of those babies who now are an adult and dealing with it, I promise you, if somebody like me can overcome this trauma, and it can be heavy, but miracles do happen every single day. And so I just encourage you and I applaud you for this healing journey, to embrace it and to look in the mirror and to acknowledge what might have happened to you and to forgive, because it wasn't your fault, but it wasn't your mom's fault. I mean, we have to give compassion, right? And you might be the mother of a child that you had that was insecure. So it's not about blame or pointing fingers. It's about having compassion for the situation, but knowing that that is what happened to you with the insecure trauma. Then you can move forward into your life and have more secure based bonds with individuals, so because you can actually tell them what happened. Unlike my life, I lived such an unconscious life. I didn't even know what was wrong with me. I just went through life kind of by myself and just drove through it very unconsciously. I kind of felt like a little ping pong ball. Ping, 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 ping. It was crazy. So I hope this video has helped somebody out there who might be dealing with effects of this insecure connection with birth mom that then influenced your entire life. I have so much love and light I'm sending you, and I hope that this video has helped somebody out there.